Everyone gets opportunities and defining moments in life. The people who make the maximum out of it become extraordinary humans. Such names are carved in history, never to be erased. Dreams and expectations add color to the mundane life.
போய் சீட்டிங் அதெல்லாம் சரி வராது. அதெல்லாம் ஒரு டெம்பரரி தான். உண்மையை பேசுங்க, எல்லாரும் நல்லா இருக்கணும். எனக்கு வேண்டி எல்லாரும் நல்லா இருக்கணும், சமூகமே நல்லா இருக்கணும். அதான் என் முழு ஐடியா அதுதான்.
More than anything, I've learned his humility and his humbleness.
Whenever we lose something, like lose a match, and whenever something goes wrong with us, he always says never give up.
All he wants is to live a simple life and give back to the community.
I'm going to give the poor and feed the poor just like my grandfather did.
So many people used to come and we were exposed. So he would take me or take even my other brothers and sisters and go and give money. So we were exposed to that very early.
Zainul Abdin Marikar aspired to educate and make the young Rifai an educated man. Z.A.M. Rifai was born on 26th December 1936 in Beruala. He is the second son among 4 siblings, the elder 2 being boys and the younger 2 girls. In 1941, this young boy started his educational journey in Beruala. Later he studied respectively at the Hamid Al-Husseini College, Colombo, and Zahira College, Gampola. In the year 1949, Rifai had to return back to Alutgama's Zahira College.
Mother Mautan, Bapa business going down. Trading agency, Habia business.
அதுக்கு பிறகு தான் எங்கள் குடும்பம் கொஞ்சம் கஷ்டத்தில் வந்து பிஸ்னஸ் எல்லாம் இறந்து போய் கஷ்டமாயிருச்சு. நான்
படித்தேன். நான் பேர்வேலேருந்து அதுக்கு வந்து நடந்து போகிறது 3 கிலோமீட்டர் ஒரு நாள் அப் அண்ட் டவுன். டெய்லி நடந்து போகிறேன். நான் அப்படி 5th ஸ்டாண்டர்ட் தான் படித்தேன். 5th ஸ்டாண்டர்ட் to 6th ஸ்டாண்டர்ட் ப்ரொமோட்டட் பண்ணால் அது வந்து நான் எங்கள் ஃபாதர் கஷ்டம் நான் எனக்கு போயிடலான்னு நின்றுட்டேன்.
He realized that his calling was elsewhere.
He decided to go and get employed. At the age of 16, so 16 plus, he got the first job as a salesman in Ratnapura. Maybe for, I don't know, maybe 10 rupees a month, very, very small amount.
Well, 10 rupees. Ratnapura 10 rupees. After I Maradana Colombo work 90 rupees a week.
During which time, I was still in the university and his brother also studying. So we don't have much money, even though he was getting a small salary, but he had enough money in his hand. Whenever we wanted money, we used to go and ask him. We used to call him Shinna Mudalali at that time, you know.
Scofield place or Shinna room la nikkar Pathura Koi Singapore la. அப்போ ஒரு நாள் பாரதிராஜ் நான் அவரும் இன்ஜினியர், அவங்க 2 பேரும் இங்கிருந்து ராஜகிரி பஸ்ஸு போய் சட்டிலே 9 மணி போயிட காலத்தில் நான் ஒன்றே பேசினேன். இவ்வளோ 50,000 ரூபா கொடுத்தேன்.
He next moved to Sharif and Fai's textile shop at Bambalapitia for a salary of 125 rupees. In 1958, he joined Silk Paradise at Bambalapitia at a salary of 160 rupees.
இந்த முன்னத்துக்காக நான் ஒர்க் பண்ணேன். சில்க் பேரடைஸ் அன்றைக்கு அதில் ஒர்க் பண்ணுறேன். இங்கே நான் வாங்கணும்னு ஐடியா வந்து.
Then he moved to Sardas at Colombo for a salary of 200 rupees.
2 years ago, நான் சொந்த பிஸ்னஸ் பண்ணுறது ரெடி ஆகிடுது. சின்ன பிஸ்னஸ் டெக்ஸ்டைல். அப்போ நான் ஒரு நாள் இங்கே வந்து இந்த பஸ்ஸை பார்க்கணும் வந்து சில்க் பேரடைஸ் பஸ். நல்ல ஆள், எனக்கு நல்ல ஃப்ரெண்ட். அவன் எங்கள் வைஃபும் அங்கே நிற்க வைஃபுமா. அவன் வைஃப் கேட்டால் நீ இப்போ இங்கே இல்லையா, நீங்கள் நான் பிஸ்னஸ் பண்ணியது. என்ன பிஸ்னஸ் ஆரம்பிச்சது. அவன் மற்றவங்க பேசுறது வீட்டில் வர சொன்னால் சாரியாது. அதுதான் மீட் பண்ணி பாரதி அங்கே வந்து பண்ணி.
And when he got married in 66, 67, I was one of the men who helped him out with his marriage.
எனக்கு வெடிகள் நான் நினைக்கவும் இல்லை. அப்போ நான் சொன்னேன் பாரதி அவர் வைஃபும் வந்தேன். இங்கே வந்து பேசுகிறேன் வந்து உங்களுக்கு ப்ரொப்போசல் எனக்கு தெரியும்.
After marriage, he started a business. He had a shop of his own, right? And then that was not a gem shop. Gem business he started only in long after, about 2-3 years after his marriage.
நான் பேர் இருந்து கொண்டு இங்கே வந்து கல்யாணம் நினைக்க முடியாது எனக்கு. அந்த அவங்க ஹை ஃபேமிலி அவங்க கனெக்ட் மாக்கான் மகால் ஹுசலம் எனவே நான் அல்ஹம்துலில்லாஹ்.
The huge battle of matching up his wife's family status and prestige awaited him. He is blessed to have 3 children and 13 grandchildren.
கல்யாணம் முடிஞ்ச ஒரு வருஷம் நான் அப்போ சின்ன புடவை கடை தான் போட்டுருந்தேன் கொல்பிடியில் பிஸ்வாய்ஸ் வந்து. அப்போ அங்கே அது அல்லாத வேலை அங்கே ஹில்மி மொழின்னு ஷோமா எல்லாமே இருக்காது. அவர் வந்து கேட்டார், அவங்க வைஃப் கசின்ஸ் அவர் வந்து கேட்டார் பிஸ்வாய் நாங்கள் அப்போ இந்த சினிமா புரோய் ஹோட்டல் ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணிட்டாங்க ஸ்டார்ட்டில் நாங்கள் ஒரு ஷொப் ஒன்று இருக்குது. நீங்கள் போய் சல்லி ஒன்றும் கிடையாது. 10,000 rupees வர 9 டிரெக்டர் எல்லாம் லோயர்ஸ் டாக்டர்ஸ் பெரிய பெரிய இருக்கிறார் எல்லாம் சல்லி. அந்த டைமில் பாரி சில டைம் பிரதன் அனுப்பிச்சே சல்லி இருக்கு தியேட்டர். அப்போ அது டிலே அது நான் அந்த லோன் அடிச்சுட்டேன். அது வந்து இல்லை, அது சக்ஸஸ் ஆகிடுது. அது புக் ஷாப்பில் எனக்கு நான் தான் இன்சார்ஜ். மற்றவங்க பெரிய பெரிய இருக்கேன். எனக்கு ரன் பண்ண புக் ஷாப் நான் சும்மா ஓடி போய் பார்த்துட்டு நான் சாமான் பைக்குள்ள பர்ச்சேஸ் பண்ணிக்கிறேன். அப்போ அங்கேருந்து நான் ராயப்பட்டு மறுபடியோடு நான் போய் நின்றுடுவேன். நிறைய ஜப்பனீஸ் வருவாங்க அந்த டைமில். அவங்களாம் படித்து எனக்கு ரூம் ஒன்று எடுத்தாங்க. அதில் ஜட்ஜ் ஒன்றிருந்தால் மிஸ்டர் ரோட்ரிகோ ஜட்ஜ். அவன் எனக்கு ரூம் ஒன்று எடுத்து யூ கேன் டூ பிஸ்னஸ், யூ கேன் மீட் மணி ஹியர், இது பிஸ்னஸ். அப்போ நான் சும்மா எப்பூரில் கல்லுகளை கொண்டு வந்து வந்து காட்டுவேன், ரூமில் வைப்பேன். ரூமில் பெரிய பெரிய ப்ரொஃபஷன் அதில் கேஷ் பிஸ்னஸ் உடனே
His first cousin, Sabir Basha, introduced him to the trade of gemstones. Zam Rifai used to carry gemstones in a briefcase and would go door to door in the tourist hotels, hoping to sell the gems.
Wholesale business on
In 1973, his house in Bambalapitiya became the focal point and showroom of his trade. Zam Rifai was marching forward with his unfailing confidence and tireless efforts. In the year 1976, he stood in an important milestone of his life. It was indeed a dream come true when he registered Zam Gems as a proprietary company dealing in gems.
That was the beginning of Zam Gems. Zam was my father's initials, Zainul Abdin Malikar, and that's the name he kept for the company. He had 1 staff initially.
1989, March 11th dawned as the day of celebration. His trade building, which was built in his own land, was made open.
His experience is vast. So he had the ability to understand the color. Understanding color is very important, especially with gemstones. So that is the big the second. Also, my dad, even the sellers, they have a lot of respect for that.
In search of money and fame, many forget and disregard their family lives. Life is not appealing nor fascinating if the joys and delights are not shared with the family. Zam Rifai did not want to limit himself only as a shrewd businessman. He never seems tired chatting to his children and grandchildren. He narrates his experiences through interesting stories to his grandchildren. He believes those stories will guide them on the long journey of life. The support of the family is an important secret of any successful business.
My sister was born 7 years after I was born. So during that time I was the only child, but he's the one who even used to give me a bath every day in the morning. Then he used to take me to golf fairs, to the parks, My mom and dad, horse riding. We used to go in the evenings, and especially during Ramadan, I can remember around 5 o'clock, he used to take me on a ride because I was feeling hungry and I wanted to breakfast. So he used to take us around. We had a small Hillman Hunter car at that time. But we were quite satisfied and happy, and we had a lot of time together.
He was like everything for us. He has taught us lots of family values, not through by only saying, but also through actions. Whatever it is, like even whether it is parents meeting, or cutting our nails in the weekends, or giving us Eid showers, it's always him. He is, although his life has been very busy for him, he also made sure that he's part and parcel of everything in the home as well.
Dad is a friend to me. When he comes home, he shares his stories, something interesting that happened in the shop, he'll come and tell me. And he moves like a friend.
Zam Rifai gave priority to loyalty and honesty. He did not intend to deceive anyone, though he had encountered bitter occurrences of defraud.
அவருக்கும் ஓனும் எல்லாரும் ஸ்டாஃப் மாதிரி நேர்மையாகிக்கணும், பொய் காலோ இல்லாமல் நேர்மையாகிக்கணும்.
James profit origin இல்லை. Profit you can make any amount. பொய் சொல்லக்கூடாது, சீட் பண்ண வேண்டாம். பழுதண்டா பழுது செல்லு, சிந்தரிக்கண்டா விற்காதே. நான் எவ்வளோ சொல்லி ஆட்கள் பிள்ளைகள் செல்வேன். இப்போ இதெல்லாம் சிந்தரி நான் என்ன ஏமாற்றினாங்க.
Based our company's strategy on three main pillars. One is the honesty, the other one is the integrity, and we also value our customers.
Zam Rifai was dreaming of pushing his boundaries and expanding his establishment to the next level. He did not prefer his son residing out of the country. After completing studies, though he could find jobs in Canada, he recalled his son, Ahsan, to his motherland.
One day my dad called and said, that's enough, why don't you come? So that's the time I decided, let me come, and I straight away went to Japan, and with my cousin and my uncle who was there, we started doing business.
Everything okay. He had to stay in Sri Lanka. She had to stay in Sri Lanka. The Zambian is growing. I don't want my son to go to Canada. Alhamdulillah, success.
And Nana has been groomed by Dad to run Zam Gems. Because even before, we didn't have our showrooms. So the groups used to come to the house, Japanese groups and European groups. And so Nana used to, lay the tables and show the gems. And Nana was groomed by Daddy to run Zam Gems.
My dad developed, the hardest part is to bring up a company. Once you can stand, then you can run. But crawling, sitting up and standing, that is the difficult part. So my dad came up, he worked hard, he spent his nights selling stones, and he bought to a certain standard. From that onwards, it was easier to develop and get into the industry.
Generations to come, I think the Nana's boys will not be allowed to leave the country, and they will have to be a part of Zam Gems.
Zam Gems is distinguished and renowned that celebrities and royal family members such as Princess Diana, the Amir of Qatar, the Prince of Saudi Arabia, Hillary Clinton, and Mahathir Mohamad used to visit the establishment. Today, Zam Gems is one of the country's largest and most respected gems and jewelry manufacturers. 15 branches in Sri Lanka and abroad. Unique gemstones and modern jewelry made from genuine material at an affordable price. trusted and endorsed by international customers. Zam Gems. Once a customer, always a customer.
We have customers who have been buying from us for the last 30 years. So which means that they are happy, and that's a great satisfaction that I get. When you see an old customer coming back again and again.
இந்த கஸ்டமர் வந்து என்ன தான் தேடுவாங்க. இப்போ நான் எங்கள் ஸ்டாஃப் வேணும், ஸ்டாஃப் மிஸ்டர் நான் தான் யாரும் முடிக்கணும்.
Gem business is not like any other business. Honesty plays a big role in the business.
Zam Gems showrooms in prominent luxury hotels include the Shangri-La Hotel Colombo, the Movenpick, the Colombo Hilton, the Cinnamon Grand, Cinnamon Lakeside, the Mount Lavinia Hotel, the Kingsbury, and many other outlets. At the Hotel Shopping Complex, Gem Arcade, Candy Showroom, the Old Dutch Hospital Gaul, Bandaranaike International Airport Katunayake, and the Kuala Lumpur International Airport, Malaysia.
Zam Gems to someday be like McDonald's. Then I said, why? Because when we went to Singapore, I was telling him that I want to eat McDonald's. That time McDonald's was not there in Sri Lanka. So McDonald's was famous. Even though it wasn't there in Sri Lanka, I knew I wanted to eat McDonald's in Singapore. So he said he wanted Zam Gems to also be that famous.
Quality, coupled with sheer hard work, has brought many awards and accolades to Zam Gems. Zam Gems is one of the country's largest and most respected gems and jewelry manufacturers. Dominant and dynamic performance has placed Zam Gems at the apex of foreign exchange earning companies in Sri Lanka through their remarkable exports performance. The national honor of Sri Lanka's Sihamadi recognizes Zam Rifai's strong contributions to the Sri Lankan economy. He was particular about the well-being and happiness of the employees of the Zam Gems establishment. Zam Gems is implementing a comprehensive welfare system for their 250 members of the staff.
Dad and Nana show so much of empathy and provide so much of support to the staff. The staff in turn are very loyal to the company.
Zam Rifai believes that whatever you give will return to you in manifolds.
Alhamdulillah, zakat kuriyatla na Korea kurigoni koyla na kurtuni koy.
Initially, he took measures to wipe out poverty from his family, and then he slowly extended his services to society.
That time when we started the business, 90% of our family members are under poverty. It's to give employment to the members of the family, so that they can educate their children. Now, those people who were working within those days, their children are all educated. Alhamdulillah, we have got fairly good number of doctors, engineers, accountants, lawyers in the family.
They want to help people, but they usually help outsiders. They don't want to help the family because they find that the family shouldn't be a threat to them, that they should live well and the others should depend on them. But for my dad, he started with helping his family first. He built the first house for my uncle and then aunties. So he brought family up first, and then now he's doing for the community.
Anyone would think of mounting their trade and multiplying income. But Zam Rifai thought that his charitable works should be continued by the generations to come. That is when Zam Trust was formed, and the charitable work was institutionalized to serve people.
Dad's motto is never say no when people come asking. Even like a beggar who knocks on people, usually when somebody is going in the car and they knock on your car door, they don't put the shutter down and give. But Dad says no, if they're asking, give. And just like, you know, the Quran says, to the one you ask, if you don't have anything to give, smile. But if you have something to give, give it. You know, give whatever you can give. So I always associate Dad with charity. He is a very charitable.
There are more than 90 orphans under the wing of ZAM Trust. 30 undergraduates are given monthly scholarships funds. More than 100 needy people are getting dry rations every month. ZAM Trust has managed to build more than 150 houses for the poor. 11 buildings are donated to schools. More than 1,000 beneficiaries have profited from electricity and water connections.
Like for his charity work, it shouldn't, he'll be very worried that, I won't have enough money to give charity if the business is low. But then he'll also tell me, okay, but then I will get worried then. Then I'm like, oh really, business is low? And then he'll tell me, no, you wait and see. I'll sell this stone for this price and I'll make a big profit and then I will do this charity work. If he has a school, like if he's building a school, he will tell me, I have this particular stone, this blue sapphire, this one I will sell for this profit and definitely it will cover everything for the school requirement.
He is determined that the education which he was deprived of should not be denied to anyone else. He also thought that by giving one person education, he can prevent an entire family from becoming dependent and financially needy. This is why he donates buildings with modern facilities to the schools.
எங்களோட பாப்பா அந்த டைமில் எங்கள் பாப்பா நல்லா இருந்தார். அவர் ஃபஸ்ட்டில் மியூசி மெம்பராக இருந்தார். ஒரு லோயர் டிஃபீட் பண்ணி 13 போஸ்ட் டிஃபீட் பண்ணி அவர் மெம்பர் ஆகிருந்தார். அந்த காலத்திலே அவர் வேறு வேறு முஸ்லீம் கேர்ள்ஸ் ஸ்கூல் உண்டு, மருதான கேர்ள்ஸ் ஸ்கூல். அப்போ ஷிராவா எகேன்ஸ்ட் முஸ்லீம் பிள்ளைய படிக்கக்கூடாதுண்டு முஸ்லீம் பிள்ளை. அப்போ இவரும் பாக்கியம்மா கால ஃபாதர் இன்னும் 2-3 பேர் இல்லை முஸ்லீம் பொம்பளை பிள்ளை படிக்கத்தான் வேணுமென்று ஒரு கேர்ள்ஸ் ஸ்கூல் மூலமாக அந்த லேண்டாக வாங்கி கொடுத்துக்கே எங்களை பார்ப்போம். அவர் 25 rupees 26 rupees நம்ம வாங்கின அந்த காலத்தில் 1936 அவர் லேண்டை வாங்கி கொடுத்து அப்போ தான் ஸ்கூல் கட்டிருக்குது. அந்த ஸ்கூலில் நான் பெருசாக கட்டி கொடுத்தது, அதுக்கு ஒரு கிரவுண்டு வாங்கி கொடுத்தது.
4 3-story buildings for Zamrifai Hajar Mahavidyalaya, Beruala. The 4-story building for Fatima Muslim Ladies College, Colombo. 4-story building for Khairia Muslim Girls College, Colombo. 3-story building for Al Hassania Mahavidyalaya, Maggoda. 3-story building for Zahira College, Darga Town. 3-story building for ILM Samsudin Vidyalaya, Beruala. Land for constructing Faziatul Nazriya Muslim Balika Mahavidyalaya, Beruala. Playground for Faziatul Nazriya Muslim Balika Mahavidyalaya, Beruala. 3-story building for Al Ghazali Central College, Alutkama. 3-story building for Vyangala Muslim Mahavidyalaya.
I want to help Muslims படிக்க சமுதாயமாக மாறணும், முஸ்லீம் எல்லாம் படிக்கணும், அதுதான் என் ஆசை. எல்லாம் நான் மெடிக்கல் ஒரு பிள்ளை வந்து கழுத்தோட பிள்ளை வந்து பொம்பளை பிள்ளை பாப்பா கஞ்சி விற்கிறாரு. அப்போ சைனாவில் படிக்கணும். அப்போ சைனா படித்து ஃபைனல் இயருக்கு கொடுக்குறது சர்வீஸ் இல்லை தார ஹோட்டல் எனக்காக. நான் உடனே எங்களோட பிள்ளை சைனா மகன் சைனா உடனே நான் இது பண்ணி செல்ஃபோன் படித்தேன் ஹெல்ப் பண்ணதுக்கு. உடனே அந்த பிள்ளை போய் இப்போ டாக்டராக பாஸ் பண்ணி இப்போ டாக்டர் ஆகிட்டேன். ஆனால் அந்த மாதிரி எனக்கு மேலே எங்கள் சமூகம் படித்த சமுதாயமாக மாறணும், அதுதான் இது ஆசை.
He started giving others when he had just 10 rupees, and he still gives when he's a multi-millionaire. To give, you do not need enormous amounts of money, but a generous heart. He is a living example for that. The real happiness of life relies in serving others.
எங்களுக்கு காலம் வரும், காலம் வந்தால் வாழ்வு வந்தால் அனைவரையும் வாழ வைப்பேனே நான் சொல்லுவேன். நம்ம வாழ வைப்பேன்.
I'll sit on the bed and watch him and he will tell me, he will sing this song, Engalukkum Kaalam Varum. Kaalam vandal vaalvu varum, vaalvu vandal anaivarayum vaala veppome. He used to say vaala veppome, but now he says vaala veithene. He adds, he changed it.
So he put that into practice. So first he established himself then he wanted to extend that, whatever he had, to other people.
Most people forget their past and hard old days when they become wealthy. Saffri never forgot his olden days, and that is why he has chosen a simple life.
One day I can remember I came with him to the office and he saw an old man waiting outside. Then he actually recognized that person, that was one of his classmates who schooled with him. Then he told me, you go and call him, and I can remember he called himself Ibrahim. You go and call him. I think that's one of my friend. I met him long time ago. Then actually I called him and to see that's him, and that person who he called couldn't recognize Saffri was the chairman of Zamjam, that's his classmate. And that was a shock for me because he recognized him, and one thing he told me was that you should never forget your past.
As a single man, he learned the trade through experiences. And now, his establishment is world-renowned. But his day-to-day life has no trace of this illustriousness.
What I like about him is that he's very humble and simple, and he's a person who doesn't have a mobile phone or a credit card. He's just an ordinary man with an extraordinary thought.
After the sun sets, he finishes his Maghrib prayer and starts to recite the Holy Quran with a pure heart, full of contentment. Precious stones are hidden beneath the earth. The value of a gem is more likely to be prized once it is polished and out on display. The wealth of a person will become a legacy only when it benefits society, and the generosity will forever live in the hearts of the people, generation after generation.